In this short tutorial, we're going to create the workspace that we'll be using for the remainder of this course. Before we launch Netlink Studio, we need to create a folder someplace on our PC where we intend to store all the files we'll be creating throughout this course. I'll keep it simple and create a folder on my desktop called P1 Course Workspace. From now on, if we create any new files or download any modules, we'll make sure to save everything in this folder. In fact, you probably still have your touch panel file open in TP Design 5. Go to File, Save As, and browse to the location of our new folder. Save that file in our newly created Workspace folder and close down TP Design. We're ready to begin building our workspace. Let's start by launching the Netlink Studio application. We're now going to create the workspace that we discussed in the Workspace Hierarchy tutorial. Within Studio, select the File option at the top of the screen, then choose New from the drop-down menu. From the choices shown here, select Workspace Wizard and click OK. The first required field is the name you want to assign to the workspace. Consequently, this will become the file name Studio uses to generate the .apw file, which, as we just learned, is essentially the framework which contains the names of all the projects and systems within the workspace, as well as links to all of the files that are part of the workspace. I'll name this workspace ABCU_campus. If you'd like to add some notes to the workspace, just click on the File Description tab at the bottom. Enter your notes and click OK. Please realize that the file description is completely optional. Since I'm following the best practice of using a descriptive name for my workspace, I won't add any additional information here. Now that we've named our workspace, click Next. Note here that Netlink Studio has generated a file called ABCU Campus and needs to know where you're going to store this file. This is exactly why we created our folder. Browse to the folder location and click Next. Now the wizard will ask for the name of the project. Since this project represents an entire building on the ABCU campus, I'll name the project Biomed Building. Feel free to add some information into the project description details if you wish. Now select Next. Here we're given the option to add a system to our project. Since Netlinks is the default setting here, I'll just click Next to add a Netlink system into the project. Since there's one Netlinks master in the Biomed Lab, the system I want to add to the project is the Biomed Lab system. And, once again, you're given the option to add information about the system. I'm not going to add anything right now. Click OK, then Next. We haven't talked about system numbers yet, so we're just going to leave this set to 0. Now, Netlink Studio would like to know how you intend to connect to your master. We're going to bypass this for now. We have an entire tutorial that deals specifically with getting connected to your master. Let's click Next once again. We're now given the option to create an empty code file which will become the master source code file. Therefore, let's select Create an AXS file using templates from the list here and choose Next. You're given the option to choose either the Netlink standard template or a custom template you've already generated. Since this is your first workspace, I'm going to assume you do not have any custom templates created yet, so we'll just stick with the default option. Click Next. Here we enter the name of what will become the master source code file for this project. Since this code will be running on the Biomed Lab master, I'll name it Lab Master Source and choose Next. Studio needs to know where you would like to store this code file. In most circumstances, this should be in the same directory that the workspace file is stored in, and that directory shows up here by default. Click Next. And that's it. We've completed the generation of our workspace. Just click Finish to view the workspace in the Workspace window. You'll also notice that Studio automatically opens the master source file for us so we can begin writing code. As you can see, The wizard does a great job guiding you through the process of creating a workspace. Congratulations, you're now ready to begin writing code and bringing files into your workspace.